Yesterday we saw two ways to pshat in the Mishnah. It says b'shus hanizik v'hamazik. So guys, look at me. B'shus hamazik, the mazik's pata. If your animal comes with my b'shus, tarich b'shus is my boy. Kishahizik hamazik, obviously is chayev. And then it says in the middle, b'shus hanizik v'hamazik. The question is b'shus hanizik v'hamazik go to the patur of b'shus hamazik, or does it go to the chiyav of chav hamazik? So if Chisda says it goes to the chiyav of chav hamazik, that shem v'regel are chayev, and in the Rishus and Nizik v'hamazik, and Rav Lesser says Yipata, and that was okay. So, right. Well, yeah, the pond is in the field. We said that's what the Kishizakav now. So what we said, Bishleim, according to Shmuel, Kishizakav, the second time it's repeated in the Mishnah Daf Tes comes to include Keren because the first Mishnah only had Shein V'Regel. But according to Rav, who said the first Mishnah is Shein V'Regel and Keren are included in the word Shar. What does the Chava Mazah come to teach me? We said it comes to teach me the four Shoimim. So we're up to Yud Gimel Amid Beis, where the lines get wide, 4 lines down. Amamar, going back over the Brisa. Kishahiz the Chava Mazah, Lehevi, Shemechinam, Bahashayel, Naisesacha, Bahasaycher, all of the 4 Shoimim that they chayav. Hekidam, what exactly is the case? Ilay mit the aske Tura de Mashal, the Tura de Shayel. If the shar of the one who lent it to him was the shar of the one who borrowed it. Now, if that shar would have done damage when it's in the reshus of the shayel, the shayel will be chayiv. In other words, I gave over my animal for you to watch. Now, if my animal damages another animal, you're chayiv to pay. Now, just because my animal damages your animal, I have to pay. I mean, it's in your jurisdiction. Jurisdiction, says Gemara. Let the mashal say to the shoel, ilu azik ba'alma. If it would have damaged your chayiv, it's under your jurisdiction. Hashka the asi the tur di doch bin l'shlume. Now that it's damaging what? It's going and damaging your shar. Why should I pay? Why should I pay? So Ella must be the aske tur the shoyel, the aske tur the shoyel, the tur the mashal. David, we're 4 lines from the bottom on Yud Gimel on the base. Ella the aske tur the shoyel, the tur the mashal. It's the shar of the shayel is goring the shar of the mashal. So let's go through this. This I give my shar to Dov to watch. Dov is watching the shar. Now, if his shar gores my shar, why should he not be chayav to pay? In other words, if another shar would gore, he'd be chayav to pay. So what's the difference if it's his shar? So it says the Gemara, El daske tur the shayel tur the mashal. Let I the mashal say to Dov the shoel ilu etazik ma'alma bois l'shlume kulei tura hashta the asik tur di doch palga niska hudem shalemisli. In other words, if it would have your Israel's chayiv beinson, I give Dov my ox to watch. It's worth $1,000. Whatever happens to that ox, he has to give me back $1,000, right? So you're telling me kishahizik chav hamazik. Shar's Dov's ox is a tam. How much is he going to pay me for my ox? 500. So I can time it to him. It doesn't make any sense. Had it been another ox, you'd be chayv to pay everything. Now because it's your ox, you're going to pay chatzi nezek. Says the Gemara, so that doesn't make any sense. Palgan is good mishalemesli. So la'olam da'aski tur the mashla tur the shell. My ox is damaging Dov's ox. Okay, my ox that. So the question is, why do I have to pay? It's in his jurisdiction. But Hachamay on Yoni, we're in the bottom line of Yud Gimel on the base. Hachamay what are we dealing with? Shekibo alav shmiras gufay. Dov accepted what? That nothing's going to happen to my ox. He's watching my ox. However, v'leikibo alav shmiras nezaket. But he wasn't makabel shmirad if my ox would do damage. So it's speaking where my ox went ahead what and damaged his ox. So that my action could get damaged, that he was makabel. That my shor shouldn't do damage, he was not makabel. So my shor does damage, and therefore you have to pay. Okay, therefore you have to pay. Ihachi, if it's speaking that Dov was not makabel, shmir of my animal doing damage, aim a seifa. What was the seifa of the Kishis Mazik? Nifitza Balayla, if at night a good healthy fence falls down, Oishepritzu will list them break it down. In other words, dove is a total oinus. V'yatsa ve'zika, and it goes out and does damage. Potter. Now, why is it potter? Because an honest happened, correct? Mashma habayoim. If it was during the day where Jove would have to watch it, chayiv. But 1 second, why is Dov chayiv? Halay kibul of shmiras nizakav. He never was makabel shmira that it shouldn't do damage. Guys, outside, we have a word kishehiz eye contact. We have a word kishehiz chavamazik, right? You're telling me it's that the chiyuv of the shomer. What's the chiyuv? The chiyuv is that my shur that I entrusted Dov to watch does damage. It damages Dov shur. It's going to pay. Why does it have to pay? It's in his jurisdiction. And for the Gemara, it's in his jurisdiction to watch that nothing happens to it. It's not in his jurisdiction that it won't damage others. A chatzi shmira. There is an addendum to that price. There's a sefer. If at night the fence falls down, or list and take it out, where Dov he did a shmira, he did the job, and it goes out and does damage. Why? Because it's nighttime, and he watched it. What happens if it does damage during the day? He's chayiv. But 1 second, you just told me he's not chayiv for shmiras and second. So one hand, part A, you're telling me you're pata, and now you're telling me you're chayiv. Says the Gemara. Okay, here's the way you have to read it. Hachi kamar. Here's the way you read it. In kibul love shmiras and zaken. In other words, the first clause. Here's the chavamazik. If my shur does damage, it has to pay. Why? Because Dov is not makabel shmiras that it does damage. However, if he was makabel shmira, then chayiv, then Dov would be chayiv. However, if it's a balayla, should pursue listim yatzav azika, then pata, you'd be pata. That's what happened. Then you'd be pata. Okay, so that's the way we're gonna establish that it's speaking. Good. We're gonna say it's speaking in that scenario. Fred the Gemara kasha. Ini, is it really so that a chotza that should fit is pater al mat Hashem v'regel? We're going back, guys. We're going back on the machlokes yesterday between Rav Chisda and Rabbi Eliezer. So again, here's the way the Mishnah reads: You're chayiv except b'rishus hamazik. If the damage happens to b'rishus hamazik, tarcha b'rishus hamaboy. What's your animal doing in my b'rishus? Ukishehiz chav hamazik. You're also pata. You're also pata. Good. Just like the mazik's pata in the rishus hanizik, so too the mazik is pata in the shus of both of them. Good. So Rabbi Eliezer said you're pata on shem v'regel. It's not bir b'stayacha. Since we both own it, it's not bir b'stayacha, right? On that point comes along Rabbi Yosef to go ahead and focus on that point. So again, a chatzur of shutfin is not, says Rabbi Eliezer, is pata shem v'regel. By shem v'regel it says v'shilach es be'iroi ubir b'stayacher. It has to be in another person's rishus. Since we both have rishus to be here, it's not another person's rishus. You have the patur of shem v'regel. That's Rabbi Eliezer's din. Fred the Gemara. Ini, is it really so that you put on shem v'regel in a rishus of shutfin? Vatani Rabbi Yosef chatzur ashutafim. You have chatzur of shutfin. Veha pundik. That's important. Pundik is an inn where everyone has the right to be. Chayev behen al shem v'regel. You be chayim and shem v'regel to yufta the Rebbe Laza. It's a to yufta on the Amoira Rebbe Laza. Got it? Amalach Rebbe Laza. B'tizbara masnisa mile pligi. Does not the price to argue? I have a tesefta that argues and says in chatzra shutfin you are potter. So in other words, says the Amoira Rebbe Laza, I got heavy hitter behind me. I got a tana behind me. V'atanya b'tesefta. 4 rules Reb Shimon said. Guys, we're going to go through it. We only need one of it, and then we're going to go over it again, okay? It's going to be a gufa that we're going to go ahead and analyze it itself. Right now, we're just bringing it in for one line. Okay, what's the rule? Right. Kol shehu reshus l'nizik v'lei l'mazik. If it's a jurisdiction that only the nizik has the right to be and the mazik doesn't, chayiv bakol. Makes sense. The mazik v'lei l'nizik, and it's a rishus of the masik and not the nizik, and you're trespassing, pata b'kol. Lezeh ulezeh. Here's what we need. This is what we need. Kigoin chatzar hashutafim v'habika. Contrast. Less before it said pundik, here it says bika. Bika is a valley. Pata bala shem vala regel. Got it. So chatzar shutfin, you pata shem regel. Who says that? Rebbe Laza. There he is. Continuing the brisa. Al-Nagicha, which is the Av of Keren. Al-Nagifa, pushing with the body, Neshicha biting, Revitza crouching down upon, Valbita kicking, which is all that told us of Keren. Tam Mishalim Chatzi Nezek, Mu Mishalim Nezek Shalim and Chatzis Shutafim. Finally, loy lezeh v'loy lezeh. No one has just to be there. You're going chatzah sheina shel shneim chayiv bal hashem v'al regel, and we chayiv hashem v'regel al negicha neshicha al negifa al arvitza v'al abita tam mishalim chatzinesek u'mishalim nesek shalem. Kitani mias in this long-winded brisa chatzah shutafim v'habika pata bal hashem v'al regel kasha adadi. Now you have two conflicting Tanoic statements. The first one says that chatzah shutafim v'chayiv, but notice, guys, it's chatzah shutafim v'hapundik. Here the Patur was chatzah shutafim v'habika. Bika is a valley. And for the Gemara, kitanya hahi b'chatzah yuchedes lezeh u'lezeh bein leperis bein l'shvarim. The one that said that your pater is speaking, they both have a right to be there. They both have a right to bring their peris there, and they both have the right to bring their shvarim there. So since we both have rights to bring our peris there, it's not bir b'steyacher. This is my field. You have a right, I have a right. Equal rights. Can we bring our shar here? Yes. Can we put our peris down? Yes. When is shein v'regel chayiv? B'steyacher. It's not b'steyacher. Hahid Rabbi Yosef that said Yechayev is speaking b'chotzah miyuchedes leperis ve'enim yuchedes l'shvarim. You had a right to bring your peris there. You didn't have a right to bring your shar there. Now the Gemara is going to ask, so why should be chayev if you had right to bring the peris there? It's not bir b'steyacher. The Gemara will get to that. Okay. So now, since you had a right for peris and didn't have a right to bring a shar there, the legabe shein havi lo chatzar nizik. By shein, it's considered chatzar nizik. We'll see why in a second. Good. Bottom line, and so therefore, it's not exactly. You're right. They're both chatzar shel shtutafim of partners, but they're very different. What ukimtis? The one that says your partner, we have equal rights in there. Sai legabe shvarim, sai legabe peris. It's not bistayacher. The one that says yechayev is, I had a right to have my shar there. You didn't. Your shar came in there, and we both had right for peris the yechayev. Dekinami diktani hacha dumya de pundik. Where it says Yapata Chayev, it says it's similar to a pundik. Guys, you don't bring a shar into a pundik, right? So obviously, we're speaking where you don't have a right to bring a shar. Ketani Hassam, and it says by the where you do have rights, Dum Yedibika. So when a bika you have rights, the Pata Shmami, no, it's a good raya. I said Rabbi Lezer, we asked the Kasha, Rabbi Lezer said Pata Shem Beregel Chatzah Shutafim. We asked the Kasha, two different mitzias. The one that says you Pata equal rights, the one that says you Chayev, you both have rights for Paris. You don't have rights for Shvarim. Now, guys, outside. If we both have rights to being Paris there, why is the Bala Shar who doesn't have a right to have a Shar there Chayev on what? On Shein Regel? By Shein Regel says Ubir Bistayacher. Since you both have rights to being Paris there, it's not Bistayacher, right? So why you Chayev? Got good it? Maskav lo Reb Zera Kivin the Yimuchedes Le Paris. Since they both have right to have Paris there, you need a bir b'steyacha and you don't have it. So how in the world could you be what chayiv? Amalei Abaya, kivin the enim yuchedes l'shvarim. Since you don't have a right to have your shar there, steyacha Korean bay. In other words, you don't have a right to be in there. You know. Usually bir b'steyacha is, well, you're in another person's field, so that's enough to do the job. So even though over here you have a right to put your Paris there, since you don't have a right to bring your shar there, that's enough to make it bistayacher, that you shouldn't be there. Now, guys, when these brises are speaking in different mitzias, and there's not a machlokes, maybe Rav Chisda and Rebbe Lazu argued yesterday. Again, just to reiterate, guys, remember yesterday I just did it today also. Rishus Hamazik, Pata. Chav Hamazik, Chayiv. Rishus Hanisik Hamazik, Rabbi Laza puts it to the Patur. Rabbi Chisda puts it to the Chiyav. Good. Maybe they're not arguing. Maybe Rabbi Laza is speaking in a case where you both had equal rights, right? And Rabbi Chisda is speaking where you both had rights for the Paris, but only one person had rights for the Shvar. So maybe they're not arguing at all. Maybe they're also speaking that same Mitzias. Good. Says the Gemara. So Amalei in. So said Ravina to Ravachi, yes. And if they're arguing, it's Bekushid Reb Zeru ubi Prukad Abaya Pligi. They're arguing. What was Reb Zeru's kasha, guys? Since you both have rights for Paris, you should be part of Shem Varegel. Guys, since you both have rights for Paris, it's not Bistayacher. Said Abaya, since only one person had a right for the shar, then it is b'steyacher. So if you want, I have another way to learn the machlokes. Rabbi Chisda says Chayiv, he taka likes Abaya's teretz. That since you're right for a shar, it's b'steyacher. And Rabbi Lazar said your partner says taka. If I have rights for payments, it's not b'steyacher. So therefore, I have a way of reconciling the machlokes, saying they're arguing in two different venues, right? They're arguing in two different venues. What? The one that says Potter, they both had equal rights. The one that says Yechayev, one person didn't have a right for sure, you both have a right for Paris. Or I can say it's speaking, they both had rights for Paris and only had rights, one person right for sure. And they're arguing, is it considered B'steyacher or not? Like Reb Zera, it's not B'steyacher, that's Reb Elazar. And like Rabaya, it's B'steyacher, that's Reb Chisda. Gufa. Now going back over to Brisa that we said we'd go back and analyze. I'm going to analyze it for it in itself. Gufa. Arba Kloles Hoya, Reb Shimon ben Elazar, Oimer ben Nezikin. Reb Shimon ben Elazar said 4 rules in Nezikin. Like Arba Abbas Nezikin, you have 4 Kloles in Nezikin, right? Kol Shehu Rishus Lenizik V'loy Lamazik, right? In other words, it's the Nizik's Rishus, the Mazik has no Rishus. Chayiv B'kol, you chayiv in everything. Karen, Shem, V'regel, the whole kit and caboodle. Now, listen to this diak, guys. Chayiv B'kol. Al HaKol Lo Ketani, El Chayiv B'kol. Now, guys, what does Chayiv Al HaKol mean? Al HaKol means every damager. What does Chayiv B'kol mean? Masha Chayiv in the payment. Chayiv B'kol, you chayiv in the payment. Al HaKol would be mashma, I'm chayiv for Keren, Shein, V'regel, but a very nice diuk. It doesn't say Chayiv Al HaKol on everything. It says Chayiv B'kol, in everything, meaning B'kulei Nizik, you have to pay the whole thing. Now, 1 second. Are we discussing Shein V'regel? Yes. What does Shein V'regel pay? Nesek Shalem. Are we discussing Keren? Yes. What does Keren pay the first time? Chatzi Nezek. So how can you say that? So obviously, now, this is speaking B'chatzar and Nizik. We haven't met him yet. We will meet him soon. Says Rav Tarfin, the whole din of Tam, of Chatzi Nezek is Meshus Rabim. But Meshuna Keren B'chatzar and Nizik, Nezek Shalem Mishalem. So now, kol that's rishus l'nizik and not l'mazik. Chayiv b'kol, meaning nezek shalem, and who is that? That's Rav Tarfin. That's Rav Tarfin. Guys, again, that the parsha of Keren paying chatzi nezek is in rishus rabim. Says Rav Tarfin, mishuna Keren b'chatzar nizik nezek shalem mishalem. So what does it say? What's our first rule? Any rishus, that's the rishus of the nizik, yechayiv b'kol in nezek shalem. So therefore, it's according to Reb Tarfin. Okay, money Reb Tarfin. Who domar mishuna Keren b'chatzar nizik nesek shalem mishalem. Ema seifa loy lezeh v'loy lezeh. That was the case before. That's the last case, right? Kigayin chatzar sheina shel shneihem chayiv ba'al hashem v'al regel. Now, my loy lezeh v'loy lezeh. Ilayma loy lezeh v'loy lezeh klal ela da'acher. Right? If somebody else's. Pirish. If my Paris are in Avi Rosenzweig's field, and Ari's animal comes along and eats it, that's not bistayach. It's got to be the bistayach. Means it's got to be my field. It's got to be the Nizik's field. It can't be what? It can't be an innocent bystander. The guy doesn't have anything to do with it, right? So if you're telling me that loy lezeh means what? It's neither the Nizik or the Mazik, but it's somebody else. Why would there be a Chiyav Avad of Shein V'regel? Hab'inyan be a b'steyacha v'leka. El pshita loy lezeh v'loy lezeh el dechad. Meaning, it's not the Niziks or the Maziks, but it's one of them. It's either the Nizik or the Mazik. The Ketani Seifa, Tam Mishalim Chatzi Nezek, Umur Mishalim Nezek Shalem. Oh, 1 second. Why is the Tam paying Chatzi Nezek? Asil Rabbanon. The army Meshuna Keren b'Chatzi Nezek Chatzi U'D Nezek Mishalim. Reish Rav Tarfin Sefer Rabbanon. Again, one more time, guys. Loy lezeh v'loy lezeh. Loy lezeh. It doesn't belong to. Doesn't belong to both of them. It only belongs to one of them. Who does it belong to? The Nizik. Comes along the Mazik, eats up. Nezek Shalem. What does Keren pay? It doesn't say that. It says you pay Chatzi Nezek. You just told me the Reisha, if it's the Chasser of the Nizik, you pay Nezek Shalem. So it's Kasha. The ratio is going to Tafni pay Nesek Shalem. The safest the Rabbanan says Afilu b'chatzara nizik Tam only pays Chatzi Nesek. That's your stira between. Says we're in the Amalei Shmuel Rabbi Yehuda Shinana. It's a short one. Shavik Maslisan v'Teya Basroi. Right, Shav Maslisan. Leave the Mishnah b'Goya Basroi. Ratio of Tafni the Sefer Rabbanan. Okay. Now we never like doing it, but so case number 1 is Rav Tarfon. Case number 4 is the Chachamim. Ravina Mishmei the Rava Makul Rav Tarfon. Okay, so what are we going to redo? We're going to do case number 4. Umay loy lezeh v'loy lezeh leperis el dechad ulezeh lezeh lishvarim. Okay, so one person. This is the opposite of the case before, guys. This is the opposite. The case before they both had a right for Paris and one person had a right for Shar. And over here, only one person had a right for Paris and they both had a right for Shar. So the one that had a right for Paris, right? It's B'Yachad, Shem V'Regel, right? It's Shem V'Regel. But since they both had a right for Shar there, right? Then it's a Shus Rabban. Therefore, you're going to pay Chatzi Nesek. Says the Gemara. So Lo Lezeh Le Paris Elo Dechad. The Legabe Shein Havilei Chatzar Nisik, because only one person had a right to bring his Paris there. Legabe Karen Havilei Rishus Rabim, because they both had a right to be there. They both had a right to be there. So now, Yihachi, if you're going to set sign, Lezeh, speaking where they both had a right to be there, Le'inyan Shvarim, Abba Shloisha Habe, your 4 cases that you said is really only, what, is only 3. The 4 cases that you said, the 4 cases that you said really, Rod, is only 3. Because this din has the same din as case number 1. Guys, what's case number 1? Chatzor Nizik, right? What's this case? You're saying they only one person had a right for but they both had a right for Shvarim, and only one person had a right for Paris. It's Chatzor Nizik, right? So basically, you're telling me the same thing. So Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak says Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak. Shleisha klolis barba mekaymes. Right. Shleisha klolis are in 4 locales. It's 4 rules in 4 locales. Says that now this is a really cryptic Mishnah. This Mishnah is really cryptic. Now, all these Mishnayos are very cryptic. We can understand why. Guys, we said Chav HaMazik, we said Shechayev HaMazik. So we said that the Tanoim of the Mishnayos in this first parak was a Yerushalmi, and he wrote Lashon Kalili. He wrote a very, very concise way. So if you look at Rashi right away on this Mishnah, Shum Kesef, Kulam Aslisim B'Farish B'Gemara. Rashi tells you, don't even attempt to think what this Mishnah is talking about. You're not going to get it without the Gemara. And without the Gemara, you'd be totally lost. And you're going to see the Gemara is also grappling back and forth exactly what's the Mishnah talking about. Okay. Shum Kesef, case 1. Shava Kesef, 2. B'fnei Bezdin, 3. V'al Edim, 4. B'nei Chayrim, B'nei Bris, 5. V'hanashim B'chal HaNezek, 6. V'hanisik V'masik B'tashlumin, 7. What's case number 1? My Shum Kesef. What's Shum Kesef? Rav Yehuda. Shum Zeh lo yehei ela b'kesef. The evaluation should be Kesef. We're going to see that you don't barter. You don't say the following. In other words, if my animal damages you and you damage me, so let's call it quits. You know, let's right? No, you don't say that. You evaluate. Tanin lo haditana rabbanon. Parasha zika betalis. A parah that damages the talus. A parah goes into a rishus, he either tramples on a talus or he goes ahead and he gores the talus, and then Rashi learns, then he schleps the talus out of rishus harabim, and now he trips on the talus. It's a bar. You don't barter and switch, but you go ahead evaluate who did more damage. The other one would pay. The Bachis, Goris, and Rashi, it's 2 separate cases. Parish is Talus and Talus is Ikapara. You know, it's 2 separate cases. There's a big crisis over here, guys. There's a problem in the mitzias of the case, exactly what it's speaking about. The bottom line is, at the end of the day, sure, created a bar, exactly. So the question, at the bottom line, at the end of the day is, you have 2 people, one's a Nisik, one's a Masik, and the other one's a Masik and a Nisik. They both, and so you evaluate and you do a Shuma, and you evaluate, but you don't go ahead and say, okay, you take this and I'll take this. Shava Kesef, what does Shava Kesef mean? The Tanur Rabbanan. Shava Kesef, Malamed, Shein Bezin Niskakim Elan Nechasim Sheishlam Achrayas. In other words, Bezin will collect what from Karka? Bezin will collect from Karka. It's a very shver Rashi over here. It's mashma that if he If he doesn't have karka, you can't collect from metaltalin. It's very shver Rashi. Again, I looked up a shach in Tuf Yutes of cotton bays. Tuf Yutes of cotton bays. The shach says there's an order of pecking order. In other words, first you would collect metaltalin. If you don't collect metaltalin, then you collect karka. That's the way that the Bach's learning over here. Anyway, aval kodem nisik v'tafis metaltalin bezdin goyvel amihen. So really, you should only collect from karka. But if a guy is typhus metaltalin, you collect from that. That's shava kesef. Amamar, going back over the brisa, shava kesef malamed shein bezdin is kakin elu nechasim sheish machrayis. They go to karka. My mashma, how do you mashma karka is the lashon of shava kesef? Guys, usually shava kesef we teach something that is interchangeable with kesef, right? Here we're touching shava kesef. What means karka, right? So we're learning is karka. So Amar Rabba Ula Dava Hashava Kol Kesef, right? Something that's equal to Kol Kesef. In other words, it itself is equal to Shava Kol Kesef. That you would pay Kesef for it. Shava Kesef Yiparlo, you pay Kesef for it. My name, what would you pay Kesef for? Dava Shein Le'ayna, something that doesn't have Ayna. Right, there's something that's metaltalin as I know, overcharging a sixth. So karka does the ein another karka. So it's avodim mishtaros nami ein lehem I know. So avodim mishtaros also through a hekesh. We said that we saw Taisus the other day. Then when it comes to the mili deraisa, then an evidence kemekarka. We ask Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman say evidence kemetaltli. You see the vayino. We spoke at the Taisus. Taisus is tremendous chiddush was what? It's only mili derabanan like kinyan agav. That was the shaila. Something that's acquired with kesef. That's the kinyan. Avad mishtaros nami nikna bekesef. Elamar Ravashi, how do you know? No, it's everyone agrees shava kesef is karka, but how is the mashmois of shava kesef karka? That's what we're grappling with. Everyone's moided that it is, but how do you arrive at that? So Elamar Ravashi shava kesef v'loy kesef. No, it has value kesef, but it itself is not kesef. V'hani kula kesef ninu. Tell us. Avodim are kesef, they're movable. Shtoris, you could sell it, they're movable. Any metaltalin is movable, it's considered kesef. You can barter with it, but karka not. So that's what it means. Shava kesef, something that is worth kesef, but it itself is not kesef. Rami le Rav Yehuda bar Chinan le Rav Huna, Bered of Yeshua. Pana shava kesef malamid shein bezin is kaken el nechasim sheish lemachrayis. Aiva Tanya Yoshev le Rabbi shava kesef afilu subin. We said that word. All metaltalin is subin. So we had the stira. Meitav Sadeo, Meitav Kam Yishalem. Yashav Labba Shava Kesef. How do you answer the stira? Rav Huno, Kesef, right? If you're going to contemplate Kesef, you pay Kesef. Contemplate Karki, you pay Meitav. That was one way. Then we concluded that MS all metaltalin is considered Kesef. Why? Because in Loim is Davin Hachim is Davin Machachrina. If you can't sell it over here, you sell it somewhere else. So Fred the Gemara Kasha, the same stira over here. You're telling me that Bezdin will only go ahead when it comes to Nezikin. Only if what? If the person has karka, Yoshev Rabbi Shava Kesef Afilu Subin. Oh, you know what we're speaking about? You're saying you can't collect metaltalin from. So if the guy dies, the mazik dies, and he bequeaths land, then Bezdin will go to the land. But if he bequeaths metaltalin, not. Says the Gemara, of course, why? Because you don't even know when you got the metaltalin. Ibi asked me, "Am a safe im kodim nisik for toughest metaltalin Bezdin goyvel amihem." Ibi asked me, "Am I Bezdin goyvel amihem?" Fellas, guys, look at me. You're going to collect karka, right? If the guy does damage, you're going to collect karka, yeah? But you're not going to collect metaltalin. However, if the nizik grabs the metaltalin, you let him take it. If it's speaking about Yisoimim, we'd let the grab from Yisoimim and keep it. Metaltalin the Yasme is not a Shabbat. It's not a Shibur on that, right? So how could you? If you're telling me in the Reisha it's speaking about Yisoimim, then the Sefer also may be speaking about Yisoimim. So if the Sefer is speaking about Yisoimim, that means the Nisa came along, grab metaltalin Yisoimim and goyvel amihen. You collect from that. But why? Why would you? And from I'll tell you why. You know why? Kedama Rava, like Rava says somewhere else, Rav Nachman, Shetafes Mechayim. You know when he grabbed it? Before he died, the mazik died. Achanami Shetafes Mechayim. Einachinami, if the mazik was dead, you wouldn't be able to do it. In other words, there's always a shaila whether this metaltalin that the Yisraelim got was in the jurisdiction of the father that should have to pay the loan. Again, even if she buded the raisa, she buded the rabbanon, and it goes into the shaila. If it's chal or not chal, we said no. It's a lot of Torah on this. But bottom line is, in the most Daf Yomi dika pshat, is if we know for sure it was in the jurisdiction of the Masik while he was still alive, and the Nizik grabbed it, we let him keep it. But Lechatchila, you should go for the Karka. Okay. B'fnei Bezdin, the Mishnah said B'fnei Bezdin, Prat l'moichin nechasav yakach choylech lebezdin. In other words, if he sold the property and the money was used up, and then the Masik Nizik takes in the Bezdin, you don't have to collect. Shmamina, loiva, a person goes ahead, lends money, umachin nechasav, and then the borrower, sells his karka, the achkach bol the Bezdin, ain't Bezdin goyvel amihin? Guys, one thing we know by this time, we know that people lend money when there's collateral, and the collateral usually is a piece of karka. So you tell me the following: why in the Zikin, when he did damage, if you would sell the property, Bezdin's not going to go to the property. But so Memela, the same thing by Leiva also. If a person lends a person money and the Leiva would sell the property, he won't go to the property. Nizik also is a shibud. You owe the person money. He was massing his property. So why isn't his mishubit? So that can't be the pshat. So the Gemara concludes, when it says B'nei Bezdin, has nothing to do with selling property. It means Bezdin adyotis. Fellas, this we're going to see that Nizikin has an inyan of knas. The only people who can go ahead and paskin on knas are the Bezdin of smuchim, who have smicha. Hedyotis, regular, they can't go ahead and do it. So that's what it means. B'nei Bezdin, it says Bezdin, meaning a Bezdin of smicha that's mumchin, that are capable of collecting. If they had yoitis, regular Joes, you can't. Al pi edim. The next thing in the Mishnah was al pi edim. In other words, if the person was moida that his animal did damage, and then edim kam, he'd be potter. So you know, you need edim to inform us of the damage, not him, not the masik himself. Now, so what's the chiddush like him? It'd still be chayiv. So what does it mean? Beidim says me right. There's no chiddush in the word bnei edim. Ela seifetz shlichalei. I needed the next part of the Mishnah, which was bnei chayrin and bnei bris. The edim have to be bnei chayrin. They have to be not avodim. They have to be Jews. Bnei chayrin lemuti avodim apostle leedis. Bnei bris lemuti avodim apostle leedis. V'tzricha, and you need to tell me both avodim, and you need to tell me both goyim. The Ashmin and Eved, you know why he's Pasal Edis, Mishum de Ein Loi Yachas. We said that he Am Hadam Lechamar, that he doesn't have any yichus whatsoever. Avunach the yichus, he has yichus, as we saw Hajarim ben Tavrimoin, he's called after his father, Ein Loi. I'd say maybe he's not Pasal Edis. V'Ashmin and Nachim Mishum Lo Shayach B'Mitzvahs, he's not any mitzvahs. That's why he's Pasal Edis. Avul Eved the Shayach B'Mitzvahs in B'Chiyim Mitzvahs Kiisha, Ein Loi. I'd say he's not Pasal. So it's really tell me both. In both cases, you're Pasal. As Hashem, she'll be tomorrow morning.